In the town of Machiasport, Maine, the year is 1998. A family home is seen tainted by blood, evidence of a violent struggle. A woman lies dead on the floor. Amidst this scene, Sam, a small girl, looks upon her mother's dead body. In a heartbreaking act, she then begins to breastfeed from her mother's dead body. The episode then shifts to the year 2022. The girl, now an adult, works as a mortician in Whittier, California. Her days are filled with the task of embalming and preparing the deceased for their final rest. After a visitation service, the funeral director, Henderson, meets her outside, acknowledging her exceptional work. Her genuine compassion for the departed has not gone unnoticed, and as a result, she receives a well-deserved raise. She returns home to her boyfriend, Jesse, who works as a district attorney. As she shares the good news about her raise, they agree to celebrate that evening. The excitement of the moment makes her want to initiate sex before he leaves for court. She moves closer to him, her intentions clear, but he gently turns her down. With a soft smile, he suggests that despite her thorough efforts to wash it off, the faint scent of formaldehyde still clings to her. She discusses Jesse's rejection with her friends over glasses of wine. As they share their thoughts, Sam wonders if there might be deeper issues in their relationship, and if Jesse truly understands her passion for her work. Sam speculates that Jesse dislikes her work at the funeral home, because it involves death. Her friends believe that relationships often involve compromise and understanding from both partners. When pressed if she would choose Jesse over her job, Sam hesitates. She explains how her work as a mortician fulfills her deeply. She describes her profound connection with the deceased and the importance of helping grieving families say their goodbyes. Sam is preparing a man for his service when Charlie, the new gravedigger and death removal tech, bursts into the room with another deceased person. As Charlie handles the body, Sam notices him whispering something to the woman in the body bag before he respectfully exits. Intrigued, Sam's curiosity about Charlie's actions grows. Later, Charlie admits to Sam that he thanked the deceased person for allowing him the honor of escorting her. He considers it a sacred duty to show respect and gratitude to those he transports. Sam listens intently, struck by Charlie's reverence for his work. That evening, after making a special effort to clean herself up for Jesse, they finally have a moment together. As they become intimate, Sam finds herself unexpectedly recalling flashes of Charlie. Another day at work, Sam and Charlie engage in a deep conversation about their beliefs regarding the afterlife and their preferences for how they want their bodies handled after death. They bond over the rich history of funeral traditions, sharing anecdotes about the diverse rites practiced in different cultures. Charlie, recognizing Sam's adventurous spirit, encourages her not to stifle it due to Jesse's more conservative preferences. In a vulnerable moment, Charlie shares about his family tragedy. He lost all his loved ones in a car crash caused by a drunk driver. Touched by his honesty, Sam feels she should also open up about her own experiences with death in her family, something she's kept private until now. Just as she's about to confide in Charlie, though, Jesse calls and interrupts, telling her that his parents are at their home. Sam hurries home to meet Jesse's parents, planning to find another chance to talk with Charlie and tell him her personal story. The house greeted her with darkness as she stepped inside, broken glass crunching underfoot leading her to the kitchen. This triggered a chilling memory of the home invasion that had tragically taken her mother's life. Overwhelmed by grief and fear, Sam collapsed, tears streaming down her face. In that moment of vulnerability, Jesse found her and embraced her in his arms, comforting her amidst the shards of shattered memories. But his embrace was quickly shattered by a surprise burst of guests behind him, revealing a festive scene meant to celebrate what he believed would be a joyous occasion, his marriage proposal. Confusion and pain clouded Sam's mind as she realized the crunch underfoot wasn't just broken glass. It was a wedding proposal, spelled out in her favorite cereal and rose petals. Jesse, hoping to create a romantic gesture with a touch of familiarity, had unwittingly triggered a deeply buried trauma. The cereal and petals, resembling spatters of blood in the dim light, served as a stark reminder of her mother's tragic end. Struggling to compose herself, Sam gently declined Jesse's heartfelt proposal, her voice heavy with sorrow and regret. She explained that the cereal, kept as a keepsake of her mother, was not just food, but a poignant link to her past. Overwhelmed by emotions and feeling misunderstood in her grief, she tearfully told Jesse he deserved someone normal, someone who could share in the joy of his romantic gestures without the weight of tragic memories. With a heart heavy with sorrow, Sam fled from the house, leaving behind a bewildered Jesse and a room full of well-meaning guests. The night, which had begun with hopes of celebration, ended in fractured dreams and unspoken words, leaving both Sam and Jesse to grapple with the painful aftermath of love and loss. Another night weighed heavily upon Sam as she approached the next body in the morgue, labeled John, on the paperwork. With a practiced yet heavy heart, she lifted the sterile sheet, anticipating the grim reality of another young life lost to overdose. Instead, her breath caught in her throat as Charlie's familiar face greeted her in silent repose. Tears streamed down Sam's cheeks as she whispered to the motionless figure. Charlie had been her anchor in the darkness, the only one who understood and accepted her. She kissed him gently, seeking solace in his cold stillness. Consumed by an overwhelming need for solace, Sam found herself clambering onto the lifeless form, seeking an intimacy that defied reason and logic. But then, a jolt of horror shot through her as the corpse's hand twitched, gripping her leg with an icy grasp. Recoiling in shock and revulsion, Sam stumbled backward, her mind reeling. Returning to the slab, she found it empty, devoid of Charlie's form but for the lingering scent of death. Fear and confusion overwhelmed her as she fled the morgue, retching violently in the corridor. Outside, Charlie stood before her, alive and breathing. Sam confronted him with a mix of disbelief and anger. He tried to explain, rationalizing his actions. He had taken a pill to slow his breath and used a prosthetic incision from an autopsy, all in a misguided attempt to snap her out of her despair. Sam accused him of crossing a line, of deceiving her into an intimate moment under pretenses. Charlie, burdened with remorse, insisted he only wanted to heal her, to make her see her pain. Their confrontation escalated into a painful exchange of accusations and regrets. Sam, overwhelmed by betrayal, declared they were nothing alike and turned away, leaving Charlie behind in the stark, haunting corridors of the morgue. 2 months had passed since Sam left the morgue, now working at a makeup counter, where the days were a stark contrast to the shadows of her former life. Occasionally, memories of Charlie would creep into her thoughts, the ghost of the past haunting her every moment. On her wedding day, her friend Danny observed the change in Sam, noting how different she seemed since leaving her job. Danny's concern was palpable as she remarked on Sam's distant demeanor, gently asking if she was all right. Sam, with a faint smile masking her inner turmoil, simply shrugged and confessed that she just wanted a boring, regular life. The wedding ceremony was beautiful, filled with love and laughter. In her vows, Sam declared Jessie as everything she needed, her anchor in the chaos of life. Jessie, in turn, prepared a heartfelt surprise, a video montage of their most cherished moments together, capturing their journey of love and companionship. The guests, moved by the montage, watched with smiles and tears. However, the mood quickly shifted when a shocking clip appeared, one that was entirely out of place. A grainy video of Sam in an intimate encounter with what appeared to be a corpse. Gasps echoed through the room as the guests exchanged horrified glances. Jessie, stunned and bewildered, demanded that Sam deny it was her in the video. His voice trembled with a mixture of disbelief and anger as he relentlessly shouted about the image of her engaging in intercourse with another man. His words sliced through the room, leaving a stunned silence in their wake. Sam, caught off guard and overwhelmed, tried to dismiss Charlie as a delusional ex-co-worker, but Jessie's eyes, filled with confusion and hurt, couldn't ignore the damning evidence before him. Before Sam could respond, Charlie burst into the church, his presence a storm of anger and desperation. He shouted that Jessie had destroyed everything special and alive within her, his voice echoing through the sacred space. Fury and betrayal surged through Sam as she turned on Charlie, her voice rising with a tumultuous blend of anger and disbelief. She screamed at him, accusingly asking if he had filmed them. Her words were laced with pain and a sense of betrayal. Charlie, his eyes wide with regret, insisted that it was the only way to reveal the truth, to make Sam see her feelings. He claimed that he had done it out of love, to wake her from her delusions. But Sam's anger was too great. She angrily pushed past him, the wedding dress trailing behind her like a blur of fabric. With each hurried step, she fled from the church, leaving behind the echoes of Charlie's professed love and his convoluted justifications. Sam, seeking a maid job, impresses the interviewer with her skills and experience. However, another employee shows the interviewer something on her phone. Regretfully, he informs Sam that the position has been filled. He explains that they cannot hire someone with a sex offender background for their home service business. Desperate and feeling judged, Sam leaves, noticing the interviewer's repulsion. While in her car, Sam stumbles upon a viral Instagram meme featuring a photo of herself with the supposedly dead Charlie. Sam couldn't escape her reputation, finding no solace even in a coffee shop where she saw an old friend too ashamed to greet her. Harsh taunts followed her, branding her a zombie. Feeling alone and targeted, Sam's despair led her to buy a gun. One day, while in her car, She saw Charlie's hearse and chose to follow it. In a tense moment, Sam points her gun at Charlie, blaming him for the chaos in her life. Curious about his strong feelings, she discovers he staged a near-death event to shock her into awareness. Charlie selfishly wanted to maintain their connection. He also confesses knowing about Sam's mother and how Sam had cared for her lifeless body for days, mistaking it for love. Tearfully, Sam admits she misunderstood her mother's condition. Caring for her was the last time she felt secure. Despite her anger, Sam realizes Charlie's prank awakened her from numbness, but she feels he should have let her remain unaware. Feeling desperate and unable to make sense of her life, she points the gun at her head. Charlie convinces her they can find happiness together. Sam reluctantly agrees, shooting him in the stomach and pushing him into the grave he dug. As the earth covers them, they share a final, twisted intimacy.